RTS podcast, and that's been really eye-opening. We've met some really incredible people on that podcast who've really like opened up my mind and my perspectives on growing this plant. And it's allowed me to kind of double down on my own processes and question some of my techniques. But nonetheless, I'm on Twitch. I do gaming content, kind of lifestyle content over there, and doubling down on my social media presence. Hope to hit 100,000 subs. Maybe perhaps by the next time someone sees this, I'm already there. But and it's been an incredible journey, to say the least. But still grinding, doubling down on just being a full-time content creator.
Awesome, sweet. So let's start with harvesting. So the first question I have for you is, how do you determine when to harvest your plants? There's so many different ways to go about it, right? I know some people look at the trichomes, some people will look at the actual pistils of the plant because maybe they don't have a microscope to look at the trichomes. Some will just look at the plants and see if the leaves are fading. The plant we're talking about, the medicinal plant, is an annual plant, so no matter how much nutrients you feed it, eventually it's going to fade. How do you go about determining when to harvest your plants?
It's a great question. I think if anyone's been following me for a minute, they know that I'm not a scientific man.
Oh, shit. Nowhere to put this
really
motherfucker,
hands-on
so fuck
kind
it.
of guy. And the number one factor that comes to harvest is it's going to come down to your time. Often I find that I would love to be able to harvest a plant when it's at its optimal, when those trichomes are at their most efficient. They're like that. I prefer a cloudy trichome, when that fade is really starting to take on. When you notice that it's taking less water, it's taking less nutrients, all great signs. But often enough, I kind of get caught up with life and work and family, and next thing you know, I'm either harvesting it too early, harvesting it a little bit too late, speeding up the process, taking some.
All right, fellas, let's go.
But if I was to have the optimal harvest time, it would be, as I mentioned. I'm looking for less intake on water. I'm looking for that plant to show me that it's ready for harvest, and typically it's going to come down to the water consumption, the trichome colors, that majority of milky trichomes. You're going to see a slight tinge of that amber, and you're going to see a little bit of an immature clear trichome as well. But all of those things coming together lets me know that it's going to be right for harvest, and I'm looking through a microscope to get a good close look.
Probably should ask this first, but do you flush your plants? Very common technique. I know you're a precision grower with synthetic nutrients, so you're not really doing the organic side of things. A common technique is to
All right, fellas.
Bleach.
One game away.
Prior to harvesting, whether that be 7 days prior to harvesting, 2 weeks prior to harvesting. I know some people go longer. I've seen upwards of 21 days to where they're just cutting off nutrients and just feeding plain water for the rest of the grow. Or some people are running gallons of water through the medium in order to remove as much of those nutrients as possible, and then allowing the plant to fade after that. Do you do any type of flushing before you harvest your plant?
Fuck up for the conference. I'll put on this
term, but
conference
I
playoff.
think flushing is actually the beginning of harvest. Now, yeah, I do flush because I personally believe that you should maximize every moment, every day that you get in the garden. You should be maximizing that in terms of giving it as much food as possible, trying to give it as much light as it can handle until that very last moment. And that's where I find flushing is the most effective, is when you are pushing the limits. So most flowers are going into about week 9. I'm pushing right till week 9. When I see that it's ready to harvest, boom, that's when it's a nice hard stop of nutrients, and that's when I'm trying to back down on this. So it's typically a flush. Like I know it is a flush, not a leach. So in 3 times of the water, the amount of the pot is kind of the rule of thumb, and that's typically going to last about 7 days, and not a whole lot longer. 7 to 10. It's hard to write anything down in stone, but between 7 and 10 days, I can get 2 good flushes in that time, and then it's gonna get to a dried out state enough where it's harvestable.
Gotcha. So you're flushing your plants. How do you go about harvesting? What's your process?
Well, the last few harvests that I've had, I've actually changed up my method. Because of the podcast, I've been opened up to the idea of not only tent growing, but growing via a screen. as well. Now, I don't want to use the actual term for censorship reasons, but growing via a screen, I find it really maximizes space, maximizes plant size, and that has introduced new methods for me. Typically I've always done a wet trim, chop the plant, trim it, dry it, and away it go. Now I decided to do a full plant where I would try to keep the plant intact as much as I could, trim it at its base, hang it upside down, and then let it dry. I found that I got a few more days out of the dry, but not much. Not much. I got a few extra days, but not a whole lot. So, but again, the few extra days is a breaking point, and one in which I'll take that extra days every day. So I did see a difference there, but typically right after I find she's ready to go, she's going to get chopped, hung in a tent in approximately 60 degrees freedom units, 65 degrees freedom units. And then I'm going to push around the humidity. I'm going to sit around that 60% as well. It's difficult being in the corner of the basement.
EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the Lone Star State in the very mammoth AT&T Stadium in Arlington, Texas. Coming up, it's a battle to represent the NFC in this year's Super Bowl, and we've got a classic in store between the Minnesota Vikings.
I'm just told, cuz we wearing our dark. We're going to try this again on me. About to back out.
It's NFC Championship time.
And you mentioned that you prefer to cut the plant at the base, so to stock and hang the plant.
All right, we wearing dark on, boy.
I personally live in a desert climate. It's very, very dry here. Looking at my humidity monitor, it's at 24%. So that's extremely low compared to other parts, other climates out there. So I do the same thing to where I'm cutting at the base, allowing the plant to be fully intact. All the branches, the buds are still intact to that. Even the leaves are kind of overlapping some of the buds, and it retains moisture a little bit better than it would be to trim off the leaves, for example, cut individual branches and hang them individually.
Today's game will be brought to you by Black Sugar.
And I'm always battling with low humidity. I'm always battling a proper dry
smoke good.
Which we're going to get into drying in a little bit, but just wanted to emphasize that the
not a diesel gas.
At the base versus cutting individual branches, you can definitely conserve that moisture.
That's
and
Black Sugar, ladies and gentlemen.
If you need to, if that's beneficial for your climate, for example. So I'm glad you mentioned that one.
The more plant matter that's on there, it's alive and not bad and crusty and wilted. You're going to leave that plant matter on there to help give the plant a little moisture and enhance or extend that dry period. So I believe the same concept can be applied to doing a dry versus a wet trim. If I keep the trim until the dry, I've maximized the plant material in the plant, therefore giving myself a little more of a
I don't know if you hear me play boy, but we wearing our dark unis, man.
When it comes to the end
dry. I'll ready up when you got the right shit on.
More time. So if I dry trim, it's gotten the most amount of time out of that. So I prefer a dry trim.
All right, that'll work.
A little more tighter to the buds. Drying trimming, it's a lot easier. You literally barely feel like you cut. You just kind of slide the trimmers along the buds, and all those fan leaves can kind of come off all on their own. So
we are sandwiched between Fort Worth and Dallas, Texas.
Did we fuck up the possession? Let's see.
Coming up, it's a battle to represent
no, we
the
did
NFC
not.
in this year's Super Bowl, and we've got a classic in store.
All right, let's see if we can pull it off, fellas. Let's get us a Super Bowl appearance. And possibly a dub.
For the right to head down to New Orleans for Super Bowl 58, it's NFC Championship time. Fielded right around the 8. And he won't get this to the 20-yard line as he's down at the 19.
It was actually, there was a guy followed by one of Doc Buds way back when I was in the forum days, before I was blogging, and I don't even know if he can take credit for it. He's the one that introduced me to it. But essentially, I'm one of the first ones to put a video of it on YouTube. That's really what it came down to. And it's essentially a process.
They'll start this drive out on the ground. Almost gets this to the 30.
Don't do it like that, fellas.
Right away, they rack up 10 yards on their first play from scrimmage. So much for staying ahead of the chains with a 3 or 4 yard gain on first down. They move the chains with a nice little run.
Yeah, they're making the chain gang hustle a little bit to try and keep up, aren't they? Because a lot of the first series of games are scripted, many times to probe and find some holes in the defense. Sometimes you attack with some big-time runs, too.
Being chased out left. That's complete to Justin Jefferson. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. Give him 19 there as the drive marches forward.
Good shit, good shit.
And this is a quarterback, you remember, looking to do what no other rookie has done. That's lead his team into the Super Bowl.
And now you maybe go back down memory lane a little bit because we have had a few guys come close. Think about Patrick Mahomes in 2018. Second year in the league, but his first as a full-time starter. I go back to 2000 with the Vikings and Dante Culpepper. Also his first year as a starter, but this would be something I think would be very noteworthy.
These guys man on the crossing route.
You fucking up right now.
Another nice game, 13
You
yards
tighten
that
up.
time, and another first down. Only 3 plays in here, but really, Charles, a solid start for this offense, and now we'll see if they can continue their mission to end this drive in 6.
And I wonder if their play calling right now is reflecting on that last big play that they've had on this drive. They'll come back with something similar. They're going to have a counter to it, kind of show it, and go to something else, and create another big play.
Hit as he throws there, incomplete.
They certainly did a nice job improvising there, extending the play, hoping someone would come open downfield, but they never did.
They need to get to the 29 if they want to pick up the first here on third down. They'll drop the throw. And he will go down. The Cowboys sack.
All right, introduce yourself to the QB.
Even keeping it back in for extra protection on third down, they still can prevent the sack. Now it's fourth and long, thanks to a terrific individual effort on defense.
It's away, and it's a high kick here, but not high enough to hit the scoreboard here in Dallas. Officially, that'll be marked down as just a 28-yard punt, and the Cowboys will take over the football with first and 10.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I smoked some incredible herb that was washed. You know, there is no, in my opinion, there's no argument to whether it diminishes the potency. But what opened my eyes in terms of whether or not everybody, whether it was required for every single harvest, was performing my last.
Let's do what we do, fellas.
Let's go to the Cowboys now with a first and 10 at their own
Look like lunch meat.
They start on the ground early. And some room. And they're able to get this one across the 35.
The setup is looking like a snack over there, Playboy.
The running game fully inside 1 to 11 on that run.
And sometimes it comes from the offensive coordinator, understanding what he thinks the defense is going to do and dialing up the perfect play. Sometimes the quarterback, though, can look at the defense, realize he needs to change it to a run, and that gets it done in a big way as well.
I was going to so
Good shit, good shit, good shit.
Brought down at the 32.
He's looking for that one.
4 on the first down play.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness, he's the whole package, and that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
However, I want to know that you've got
Throwing on 2nd and 14.
That was terrible, terrible pass. Good shit. Ooh, I hit the panic button twice. Good shit. Good shit.
So Charles, our first points of the game provided defense.
That's all me. That's all on me.
And I can only imagine that the folks at home watching are thinking to themselves, that's one of those plays where once
That's what they wasn't supposed to have.
you just sort of go, uh-oh, and wait for the result. This time, the defense benefited.
Definitely what they wasn't supposed to have.
Up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. This will be fielded inside the 5.
Would you say that
And they'll get him down inside the 30 to 27.
All right, let's get that shit back.
For example,
I would have to know what the integrity.
The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive.
And at what point do they degrade to acquire the breaking? But again,
They'll start on the ground here on first down. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. Second down.
There's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
Now they're staring at a 3rd and 8. That last play backwards a yard.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt coverage, and it's intercepted. Trent McDuffie with a pick.
Good D.
To the 22.
what exactly?
Partner, I think this is where long-term starters in the NFL separate themselves from the rest of the pack because
Could we be working on the upside?
left in this one, more than enough time to move past a pair of early mistakes and find a way to lead your team to a win. Mental resiliency, a characteristic every NFL team's looking for in their quarterback.
On first down, they'll go to the ground.
Yeah, they working on the upset on us, fellas.
Into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota.
Can we come back for the 2-point,
And the Vikings are able to strike
2-score deficit
into their lead.
with the Madden play yard?
Early on, they have all facets of the game working in tandem.
Yeah, you get the defensive touchdown early, give you the first score, and then your offense piggybacks.
They feeling good on the other side, fellas.
Any coach we've ever talked to, we've had that conversation with prior to the game. They would say, you know, when you score on defense or special
Let's see what we can do.
that gives like a 95% chance of winning the game. I don't know if that number's correct, but it certainly does tend to play out that way, doesn't it?
It does. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25.
Work together as
Let me see what I can do.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense.
Look at that look.
They'll need to come from behind if they want to play in 2 weeks as they trail early in this NFC Championship game. A bit of an opening there on the first down run as they get this forward for about 6 yards. You're down early. How do you get back in the game, maybe establish the run? I think they're trying to do that.
I'm with you on that one, and what I like about the message is that there's no panic from the head coach. He's already told the offensive coordinator, let's run the football, let's get things settled down a little bit, and find our way back into this game.
Seconds up to 7
I do know from experience, when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense, and guess what? Now you get ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
Third and short yardage, Prescott.
Man, what the fuck? Dak tripping out this bitch. That's game.
And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown.
Dak out this motherfucker off the hook.
Team built this kind of lead in the opening quarter, and man, they seem to be clicking on all 3 phases right there. The defense doing its part on the pick 6.
And it's absolutely been the definition of a start that you would pick for yourself and for your team, right? And I have a feeling that they just want to stay in this zone. What's truly incredible about this start is they can add on a couple more scores.
Yeah, we just staring at the TV at this point like, what the fuck, man? I'm just as shocked as you is. Even my opponent is like, goddamn. Can't be playing while you hungry.
Minnesota's kick team ready, and the Vikings moving away.
And I think, like, kind of reverting back to the training process, I think
I don't know, man.
I think we're trimming
This shit looking real bad.
every branch, you know, and that's inherently that's going to speed up the drive.
The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive.
There ain't even 100 total yards between us.
At home in the playoffs. Still in the first half, they've got to turn things around quickly. He's able to force his way through one man, but he can muster only about a yard on the play. Second down.
Sometimes you just have to give credit to the defense. Great job there at the point of attack, holding up. They won their battles at the line of scrimmage, left him no space to try and run. Really nice job swarming to the ball carrier.
Minus the light. You know, I've still got the air circuit. Well, Oh, okay. Let me walk that back a little bit. There's a lot less wind.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9.
There's a lot of wind. I don't think, honestly, you could like
Prescott to throw
in my flower tent without it.
That'll be taken in there by James Washington. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. Give him 10 there. Good enough for a Cowboy first down.
Now that's the kind of big play you'd like to see. This first half, it hasn't gone their way, and they could use a shot in the arm, something to perk them up a bit, and they get one here in the passing game.
Being in the basement, being at 60% moisture, I've got an active humidifier in there.
Prescott on first down.
It does not make sense to me to not circulate
over the middle complete. It's Elliott finding room at midfield. And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
Good effort, Playboy.
It's going to need to hit on a few more plays like this. It's been a difficult first half for them, to say the least. And I do believe if they want to get back in this game, they need to start right now. It's kind of like
all right.
Adjustments. If you try to wait to the half, it's probably too late. They need to get going right here.
That's going to go as a loss of 4. It'll be 2nd down.
You can get that back.
I don't think that was necessary. I think I should have just left the AC infinity and nothing else. But yeah,
now Prescott
is set at about 60%.
He finds his man complete. That's Ferguson. And they're going to get this down to about the 37.
So it did.
He's not cool about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take what you can get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now gives a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
And it's a real pain in the butt. You got to open that tent up every 24 hours to fill that humidifier.
Wow, that you fucking up, Playboy. Damn.
And the Vikings are going to take over here at their own 22-yard line. Well, CD, when you mentioned earlier about spreading the ball around in this game, I don't think you mentioned the guys in the other uniform. With 4 interceptions here in the first half, and several different guys have picked him off.
Yeah, instead of analyzing what's going wrong with him, throwing the football, while we look at the defense, they came in prepared, had an excellent game plan, well scouted, and they're taking it away almost every turn.
And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. And that'll hurt the average a bit, as this time they're able to get him behind the line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
And that's what I'd like to see out of this defense, a little fire, a little toughness. It hasn't been the best first half for them, but they did do a nice job there, forcing a loss on that play.
And a combination of angles and fan there. It does
on 2nd down, they'll run it here. And he'll make it only to the 43, a gain of 2.
Brandon, we talk all the time about those hybrid players, guys who can do more than one thing, and I think if you're playing strong safety in the NFL today, you are a true hybrid. Part linebacker, part cover guy.
And coming up, sticking his nose in the mess there and making a nice play defensively.
Every 20
right where this set of down started, they need a full 10 here to pick up the first down and move the chains.
I'll definitely take action now.
Out of the gun now on 3rd down. And this is going to be incomplete. Had to pass there, 3rd and long on your own side of the field. Just couldn't come up with anything.
That's why teams always talk about having to win the early downs, meaning you got to gain.
If I could have scored on that last possession, that would have been real nice.
Go down significantly trying to pick up the first down, even throwing the football.
Then I will be able to take action.
And that one hits a little too close to the goal line, and it continues into the end zone for a touchback.
Naturally, room temperature for me, I'm usually about 65, 70.
We ain't got no faith in Dak right now, man.
By the Cowboys offense. As the offense comes out here, Charles, remember they threw the interception last time out, but they were moving the football down the field.
Oh, wow, man. It's to Dak, you got to come on out, Playboy.
Picked up by the linebacker, Eric Kendricks. And this little bit
any sort of cooling, or I'll say
it's going to take care of that right now, pimping.
Yeah, great Canadian argument. Yeah, I'm in the basement, and it's naturally pretty cool. I can't transition into freedom units, but I'm going to say that it's just like on average, it's probably about low 60s, high 50s.
Good D, good D.
All the time. And sure, that might be great for a drying, you know, but that's not good for veg for sure. And
play fake here on first down.
You do want to have a little more control on it.
Oh, why don't you continue to come up, boy? Damn!
Just a couple yards shy of the end zone. A chance to really cap off a big first half here as they come up on first and goal. They'll try to run this one in. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. They've been in the red zone 3 times in this game and have not scored a single point. And they run through here on second and goal.
That air is being sucked into the place. And yeah, like I also try to and I really enjoy it.
And this throw a bit late as he couldn't reach back for it.
A lot of times it's that first read that you had. Maybe you get it in pre-snap, and he locked in on his target, but he was covering quite well, and that one's incomplete.
They'd really like to make the short field pay off. We'll see if they can, but this is third and goal. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw to the goal line, but it's incomplete. Problems on third down so far in this first half. Relatively small sample size, but they're now 0 for 3.
And the average in the league, somewhere around 40% on third down for offenses. So what's the answer to this? Either convert them or don't get the third down in the first place. Get your big chunks of yards on first and second down.
They're going to look to throw. Dance into his left. And the pass is intercepted. He was looking for Ingram. Picked up by Trayvon Diggs. And the Cowboys are going to get the ball back on the turnover. They hold on fourth and goal. Oh, they were so close to the goal line, Charles. Fourth down, they figure out we'll go for it. But the decision to pass winds up being a bad one with that interception.
Well, I think you said it really well. They may have just figured we're this close, we may as well go for it. Or they had a plan right from the beginning coming into this game to be aggressive. In any event, it didn't work out for them.
You know what I mean? Like, I just feel like...
That's pretty much meat and potatoes right there, wasn't it? Just go right at them and let your big horse charge up the middle. Not too fancy there, was it?
Nothing fancy at all. Challenging that defense, and on that go-around, the offense won the challenge.
But it bends under almost its own pressure. I feel like...
And here comes throw number 1 for the backup QB. The Vikings after it, and they get there for the sack. Second and 14 as they've got work to do here after the sack. They'll look to throw here. They'll fire this deep for Gallup, and that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's third down.
They've had multiple opportunities on offense and still haven't scored any points. Felt like they wanted to loosen things up, throw it downfield, and see if maybe they can get a big play and a quick strike.
You crush it, and it's still got a little bit of bounce to it. You know, you can feel that moisture in there as you crush it. It's like
now on third and long, they'll look to throw.
Like a sponge. That's when I know it's coming.
And he's going to go down. Back in his own 5-yard line. It's a sack. And they're going to take a timeout defensively. So with fourth down coming up, they go ahead and burn it and say we'll see what happens. On to punt now, Anger as he boots this one away.
Crunch on the buds with a little bit of moisture.
And this will be down just inside the 30-yard line. So we've reached halftime here in the NFC Championship.
We fucked this game up.
Standing by is Jonathan Coachman. He has our EA Sports halftime report.
They just took up a 2-foot by 2-foot road space.
Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3 alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brennan Gaughan.
Stuff like that, but... do you have any general tips?
The Hallis Trophy still hangs in the balance as the second half now underway in the NFC Championship game. This will be fielded inside the 5.
It's what it feels like. You said it. Tedious, painful.
And he is out of bounds as they'll start.
That's our biggest and best play so far. That ain't good. That ain't good.
First thing you can do is just harvest less punts. That's number 1. You know, it's
the Dallas offense here set to begin the drive. And they have work to do in the second half if they want to earn that berth to the Super Bowl.
And I'm pretty sure this is where their coaches at halftime were saying don't panic, and then demonstrating it by not making a lot of drastic changes to the game plan. Let's just get back to doing what we've been doing all year long. That should be more than good enough.
And this carry not as productive. He swallowed up at the line of
So,
scrimmage.
you know,
He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially they'll be left.
Good D, good D.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down.
Number 2, yeah, I definitely get
Now a handoff running
Ooh,
to the middle.
they on our ass. And you already know, motherfucker.
Here they get him behind the line. They were ahead of schedule after the gain of 7 on first down, but the defense does not budge on second and third.
You're just like, it's good. Yeah, that one's good. Yep. Don't even worry about it. Yeah, I'm not even tripping that one. That one's good.
Oh, no. Don't turn them loud-ass kids on in the mic, cuz.
To really maximize your trimming time.
Ooh, nice one. Turn your little nigglets down.
If you've got buddies or friends or your wife or your husband, and you just want to get a job done, kick on your favorite Taylor Swift.
The little niggas start talking shit on this motherfucker on us, man.
Make sure you've got a nice
Little punk motherfucker.
and make the best of it. I prefer to stand rather than sit because I find standing just allows me to like get a little bit loose and trim. You know, sitting over such a long time can be a real pain in the ass. A good set of trimmers goes a long way, and I need.
Punk motherfucker start talking shit.
This drive might have to start digging in our second half blowout material.
Yeah, babe. Huh?
Are your wings done?
I guess the timer went on. Why, what up?
They tried to go with a little play action there.
I thought you was up there.
Yeah, they adjusted in time and in a big way, and ultimately got the sack on offense. Sometimes you're running play action just to set up a certain blocking technique. In this case, none of it worked.
I know a lot of people use the trays as
He'll
well.
look to throw.
I'm not sure if you use those or not.
Going for Jefferson downfield.
You know, because they have that.
And that will be incomplete.
Tried to give it to him anyway.
The long way out there, but it'll be third down.
I know conventional wisdom says, hey, don't get it all back in one play. But sometimes you go ahead and try to. They tried to get it all back on that one. Weren't able to do so.
Those things for your big players are great.
On third down, they're going to run for it here.
Speedy pass or something, but very
And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line.
You got to be careful which ones you get because you can break back for some of the local trimmers that not necessarily in terms of the price.
Here we go on fourth down. And he will not even make it back to the line of scrimmage. The Vikings unable to convert here on fourth. And the Cowboys defense is
You know what? Let's come back on this little punk motherfucker, man.
the 31 now on first and 10. They'll try and start this drive in the air.
Two different sides of the league.
Got an open man. It's Michael Gallup. They'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. Great way to start the drive. 20 big ones and a first down.
Interested now. Those trim machines or bullet trimmers, something like that.
He'll drop to throw.
Experience on it if it's worth picking up.
That's caught. It's James Washington. They're trying to tiptoe the pylon, but they're going to say he stepped out at the 1-yard line. A big play here for Dallas. 48 yards after the big play. A chance to finish now on first and goal. And just a short gain that time as they're able to get him down.
How do you go about curing?
You said it. It's so important, you know.
Elliott will score. Touchdown, Cowboys. So they brought the extra bulk in down on the 1-yard line and able to push this one across.
Yeah, I can just see your face right now because I know we're mind-melding on this one. Coach Madden would love this. Chest to chest, driving forward. Touchdown.
The kid team out there for the Cowboys as they run up to
They ain't really got no offense.
And that one bounces out of the back of the end zone, so we'll start the drive at the 25 on the touchback.
You know, you've got to be very vigilant in terms of trying to avoid that further moisture in the jars. I'm much rather, through experience, overdrive.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Their lead down to 2 scores after the touchdown a moment ago as they start with a 1st and 10. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. Second down coming up. The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. They'll look to throw. So going for Jefferson downfield. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
That incompletion certainly makes this upcoming 3rd down a little bit more crucial. They need to find the right play to convert here and maybe start to tamp down a little bit of momentum. The other side is starting to gain.
So after the 2nd down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. They'll set up to throw.
Pull those like a chip bag, 3/4 of the way
Good deal.
I think it's safe to say he's made some questionable decisions out there. So force some throws in the turn coverage. He's already been picked off in this game. 4th down now, but he's fortunate on that one. Not down another turnover on his ledger.
62% is ideal. But again, you're playing the plus-minus game.
This is taken at the 18.
Typically plus-minus.
Gets past 1 man. He is out of bounds right around.
There's a lot of fat boys over there, wasn't there?
Danger of a punt that good. A 16-yard return. And that will come the offense as they take over.
See if we can do it again.
Next drive by the Cowboys offense.
Right now, Charles, it just feels like they're trying to keep pace. They did score the touchdown last time out, but they still trail by double digits here. We'll see if this offense is once again up to the task.
I'm going to get it. I'm going to get it.
They've got to be pretty revved up, don't you think? Everything they were doing was working pretty well. They go back out there with the same mindset, play the same tempo, the same pace. Still a lot of time left to make something happen in this one.
Damn, come on, baby.
Second down, but this one is incomplete.
You get the sense that they're saying we're not playing up to what we're capable of, and we're deep enough into the game that the early jitters are long gone, that they should now have some sense of continuity and be able to make some of these plays that they have not been doing so far.
Ooh, pass interference like a motherfucker. Side.
Third and long that time. He was trying to make something happen, but a little too risky.
Well, the field tilted on him, and what I mean by that
Definitely
is
need some different routes.
got to push it downfield to try and pick up the 1st down. Defensive backs live for this situation, and they took advantage of the young man right there.
Going for
Oski.
downfield. Rifles one, that's going to be intercepted. Picked up by Trayvon Diggs.
All right, you give him this chances. You act right.
18-yard line. He's had a fantastic rookie season, made a lot of
My passing game terrible right now, though.
We got to give him one, don't we? I mean, with the year he's having, a lot easier for he and his teammates to accept that throw. Because for the most part,
Come on, that could have been a touchdown, too.
Boy, this defense again
All right, let
really
me see
making things
some.
tough on him as they stop him for no gain. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
yeah, that's what their job is, and really a lot of the time they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance, they're just heading straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them in no gain.
They'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. Big yardage after the catch. That one winds up going for 36.
Oftentimes now, offenses aren't nearly as precise as days gone by. They just tell receivers, find an open patch of grass and let the quarterback find you. And that's exactly what they did on that play. First with the pass through the air. Nice chunk of yardage
Oh, my
there.
goodness,
And then
babe.
take
What's
the
wrong?
with his legs
Hold on,
after the
baby.
catch.
I'm in the middle of the game.
They'll look to throw here on 1st down.
Fuck.
And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Cook them off the dry rack. They're crunchy on the outside. Your jaw was what I said there. Kind of shake it a little bit. And if those bugs are kind of tumbling in there on their own, they're probably good for like another, 12 hours.
Can I pull this off?
The NFC title game. This is 2nd and 10.
some people use hydrometers, but again, it's plus minus. Those things are plus minus. I do recommend using hydrometer. It's just don't rely on it.
Ooh, no, I cannot. That's to the house. Yeah, that'll do it. That will do it.
Well, CD, we have seen it many times throughout the course of the season. This defense coming up large and snagging a big takeaway. But here they get not just a takeaway, 6 points as well.
And you just knew that for this team to advance, it had to get a big performance from this unit. And to this point, they delivered.
Extra point by Nagar is up and good. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. 1 quarter remains for the right to go on to the Super Bowl. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports.
I use this little mini hydrometer.
Minnesota's kick team ready, and the Vikings moving away.
The temperature as well. And I don't think the shop rely on those 100%. And a lot of people do rely on 100%. They can be accurate, but the ones that I was using, unfortunately, I had a couple that were inaccurate. And although it said it was 62% RH, which I think the team has
the Dallas offense here set to begin the drive. And their dream of a Super Bowl berth so close 3 quarters ago, but obviously starting to slip away if it hasn't already. They need points here and in a hurry. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets them to 2nd and 4.
But I bring up a great point. Is like you might want to actually have like another measurement to kind of compare it to make sure that it's accurate. Don't just trust it right out of the box that it's going to be accurate. Test it first to make sure, because you could spoil your harvest. You know?
And just because it's accurate in June doesn't mean it's going to be
throw here is incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted a picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops from one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
The Cowboys on 3rd down. They're struggling. 0 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd and 4.
I like to rotate the jar, get the bugs to kind of tumble inside.
Back to throw.
And once they kind of 2 bugs are stuck together,
He's able to hook up with Michael Gallup. And he will have the Cowboys first down by about 3 yards or so as they wind up getting 7 there on 3rd and 4.
And Brandon, from our time in college football, where receivers weren't running the traditional NFL route tree, one thing they did learn, find open areas, find soft spots, and set up and catch the ball. And I think we just saw that there.
We saw that indeed, picking up the first. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Back to throw here.
It's very
pass complete to Jalen Tolbert. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down.
But you don't have anything, right?
Here's 2nd and a yard.
So the thing is you need to be in a good state to get to a good harvest. So when's a good time to ingest it? Well, when you need it. That's my first thing. So once it's if you got through a dry
they'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw.
You got to cure.
That's caught inside the 20. And they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line. A big pickup of 38. Defensively, I know they have the comfortable lead here in the 4th, but they do not want to give up big plays like that.
They want to finish strong. So oftentimes in this situation, you tighten up underneath in your coverage, and you bring your safeties back. They can pick.
And he's going to go down back at the 27-yard line. He's sacked. Daniil Hunter able to run him down for a loss of 12 that time.
Okay, I'm not sure you can actually draw a better pass rush than that one right there.
Beat the fuck up.
He had to keep backing up and backing up and backing up. Eventually dropped for a huge loss.
Proper cure. You can pull out the remaining potential of that butt. Now everyone says, yeah, there's
looking left side and he's got a man.
Too much momentum.
And he'll head out of bounds inside the 10, marking down at the 9. A nice pickup there, 19 yards. And they're set up better for 3rd.
It's smokability. You know, the work you do in the flower
now back to throw. He'll get this out wide here to Elliott. And the Cowboys are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points.
But giving it a one, I think that's that to its smokability. You know what I mean? And that's
out of the gun, it's Elliott. And he'll get this one back to the 5-yard line, but no further than that. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be second and goal. And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just boom, quick, and what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
And then after a month or so, like sometimes you can still
just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Cowboys in possession of the football here as we get you reset. A line of scrimmage once again, the 5 as they get ready for second and goal.
So like I mentioned earlier, there's a lot of new folks listening in here. I'm sure there's a large handful of people who haven't even looked at Coach Harvest yet.
Ezekiel Elliott, he scored on the ground and through the air. And the Cowboys have got it back to a 2-score game here in the fourth.
You need to make the system work for you. You need to make your harvest work for you.
Point after, right down the middle. That cuts the lead to 28-14.
You don't have to buy
2 scores down, 3 timeouts left. Still a chance if they can sit down and get this one back.
I don't want to throw any brands under the bus when you do this, but it's like you don't need any fancy curing things. You don't need any. You can keep this really
and they've got it. They recovered it. But hang on now, though. There's a penalty flag down. Well, CD, you understand. I mean, they're so eager trying to get back in this game here in the fourth quarter, but they touched that one a little too early before it went 10 yards.
Brandon, in such a high-stakes scenario, everyone's feeling the pressure on this play. The special teams coordinator, which one is he going to pick in terms of kicks? Can the kicker execute it? Can the team wait for 10 yards? So many variables, and in this case, they didn't get it done.
Pretty nice work defensively there on the first down run as they hold him to a gain of a couple. This is in all probability another run here on 2nd and 8. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. Now the Cowboys going to burn the first of their timeouts as they head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. We'll see what they have drawn up here a little bit behind the line. 12 yards needed to gain a first down.
The idea would be to make it fun, make it comfortable, and make it work for you.
Drop to throw. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes.
I think that's number 1.
It's a loss of 10 on the sack, and it leads to 4. The Vikings send out their punter. As the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. There, this one's high, but not very far.
When you are this, standing and not sitting is huge. Getting the right direction.
That'll go as a punt of 32 yards. And they will take over 1st and 10.
There's so many more resources on the internet to kind of relate to or kind of dive into. Do it. You don't have to listen to me. You know, it's between the two of us.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. A long drive last time out for this offense, Charles. If you remember, they started basically in the shadows of their own end zone, marched it down the field, and a lot of that was through the passing game.
As a former defensive back, I don't know much of a physical reaction watching what's happening right now, but let's give credit where it's due because they've done an excellent job moving the ball through the air. Secondary getting picked apart pass by pass. Obviously, they need to make some adjustments there in the back end.
Yeah, because offensively, we know that they're not going to be shy about throwing that football.
Give him big credit for his coverage right there because when he saw the route break deep, he stayed in position to prevent a completion while avoiding any risk of a flag.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
With this platform and with your shows and the amount of information that this podcast has done for the community is, I think, second to none. Second to none. The way you've brought creators, the way you've brought
out of the gun, they'll look to throw.
Scientists, the way you've brought.
Now the pressure comes and he goes down just inside the 10.
Good game, good game, good game.
The sack coming from Big Talon Tomlinson. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this.
So I appreciate it. I appreciate you. And for those watching, I'm on YouTube as well. You can find me at Pigeon Sport 20. It's on my hat.
Here's Ryan Ager now as he'll punt it away for the second time.
We've got the From the Stats podcast I do Top Bugs live Monday, Wednesday, Fridays. It's a morning show. We talk about everything, and I'm sure we're going to get canceled someday. You can find that over on Twitch as well.
I feel like you and I could be in our backyard with our dads right now. What did they always say when they were throwing us the ball? Look it all the way in. Make sure you secure it. That had the feeling of not happening there on that play. That he didn't have full control of the ball.
When that punch coming in, I don't have a return punch, but I would imagine it's tough to monitor. Those guys coming full steam ahead at you.
It really is. You try and get that peek to know where they are, about whether you should fair catch it or not. But sometimes you just have to have a sense, a feeling, and just have to make sure, number one, though, you catch the ball and put it away.
The Cowboys going to use their second timeout now, as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in the football game.
I'm actually part of a podcast with him. It's me, him, not just us two, but also Rob from CLT. Search From the Stash podcast. That's on YouTube, as well as all the podcast platforms as well. And yeah, we'll blast over
that one looks like he'll fall here.
And talk about all sorts of stuff.
And he's going to be intercepted for the third time thus far.
Also subscribe to the channel if you haven't already.
The young quarterback, Charles, rolling to his right. I know he's right-handed, but is that one that maybe a veteran sticks in his pocket?
I think so, but you have to remember with young quarterbacks, it may take a few years before they get all the stuff out of them that they did earlier in their career or even in their college days when they were used to being dominant. In this case, the NFL veteran defense ended up winning the battle.
I'm sure that I may or may not have said something that a few people may or may not disagree with. So I encourage some civil discussion in the comment section, and I can't wait to read it.
And then I'll also link the episode 1 we did in the description section below. So if you guys want to head on over there, I'll actually link it on the outro card.
One final shot. They'll look to throw.
Here's talk all about.
And this is going to be caught.
Another hot topic.
So an offensive final score, not the outcome, but it is a late touchdown here on the game's final play. Problem for them, they needed that score with a little more time left on the clock. I think just too little, too late now.
I would agree with that. And we're programmed never to say never. But in this case, we're asking them to even think they have a chance.
But the late touchdown can only draw the score a bit closer as this game is over. And they get to hoist the Hallis Trophy. Unbelievable victory. Moving on to the Super Bowl.
Only hope that these players understand exactly who is behind that trophy. George F.
There is a chat button. And if you go ahead and we just type in where you're from, we want to know what kind of reach do we have worldwide. So I'm seeing Poland, Netherlands, Germany,
tough loss to us.
Lots from the U.S., Canada, wow.
But we can eat now, baby.
Today, all over the world. We got Australia came in, South Africa. I think we've hit every comment so far, folks.
14-3 loss to a 9-8 squad.
See anybody from the Antarctic. So
should have ate a Snickers.